Order, and we're going to have a delegation here. Tara Roberts is going to come forward from the Community Services Coordinator, and David Sadler, Children and Youth Engagement Coordinator. Hi. Go ahead.
Great. So thank you for this opportunity to present. So we're here to tell you a little bit about Healthy Communities, who we are, how we fit into the department. The last 5 years, we've been able to redefine our vision and look at some key focus areas. We want to share that with you today. So who we are. So how do we fit into the department? We fall under Community and Recreation Services within Parks, Recreation and Culture. We're right behind on the first floor west. If you want to come and ever say hi to us, we are there. We bring lots of knowledge and expertise to the department. We parachute in at different levels within Parks, Recreation and Culture to provide expertise and knowledge around support services, supporting children with disabilities, volunteerism, and etc. So what do we do? So within the department, we provide specialized support services to other areas within Parks, Recreation and Culture, as well as citywide initiatives. We initiate projects and strategies. For example, a Measuring Up committee, which I'll tell you a little bit more throughout the presentation, as well as we support council initiatives and committees. A good example of a council initiative is our Doors Open program and event.
So, as Tara said, we wanted to explain a little bit about who we were, and we're a section of teams. So, as she mentioned, we have a lot of different specialized teams. But before we go specifically into some of the projects that we have on the go, we want to talk a little bit about the ideas behind our work and the ideas that bring us all together and make us a section. So when we reflected with our staff team, we came up with these 5 ideas that we feel really drive our work. First of all, we build capacity in what we do. So whether we're working with volunteers, members of the community, or other staff teams, we really recognize that to build a healthy community, we have to be building capacity in order for it to be sustainable. Secondly, as we're a team, we have education resources that other teams draw on to help with their programs. And engaging partners is critical to what we do. Building a healthy community is something that is very complex. There's a lot of different people to work with. And we really see this idea as being core. So whether we're working with other departments, members of the public, or staff, or other agencies, external agencies, this is really critical to what we do in every project that we have. And finally, or not finally, but is connecting community. So the city is a large place, and a lot of the work that we do is connecting individuals to each other, individuals to supports and resources, or to opportunities to overcome barriers to recreation so they can fully participate in their community, which relates to also promoting active living. As we are within Community and Recreation Services, we really have a strong focus on physical activity and wellness, but we also really focus on people actively living their lives, however that may be. So when we look at the system and the community as a whole, when we show up in the department, if we're working with a rec center to put together an accessible program, or if we're working across the city to support our volunteers who volunteer in different departments, or if we're out in the community delivering a program ourselves or working with someone, those are the 5 ideas that really go underneath all of our work and provide the foundation for how we show up. So, so now we're going to just quickly go through the different sections that we have, and we're going to highlight 3 projects. The Measuring Up project, the City Hall tours, and the Band-Aid program as examples of our work in action. Okay. So accessibility and inclusion is creating inclusive environments for children, youth, and adults within the community of Surrey. So we're offering support systems so that children, youth, individuals with disabilities can integrate into our programs and services throughout Surrey. This year, in 2015, we've been able to support 275 children with one-to-one support in our day camps. So that's allowing children with disabilities to participate alongside their peers in our day camps. And as David mentioned, Measuring Up. Measuring Up is a committee of community organizations coming together to look at a common goal. We're a resource, we're a hub, we're role models around accessibility and inclusion, we're a voice for people with disabilities. So we're looking at how to create an inclusive and accessible community within Surrey.
volunteer resources is supporting developing volunteer leaders within the community. A really powerful stat is one in 50 residents is a City of Surrey volunteer. That's just such a powerful impact of the things that our volunteers are doing within the community. So we just want to say thank you to our volunteers for contributing. Diversity and inclusion is engaging and connecting Surrey's diverse population. We're offering tours for newcomers, an opportunity for newcomers to come into our facilities, learn about the supports, learn about the services that we have to offer. Our Doors Open event is a wonderful event for individuals to come into Surrey, for individuals to be tourists within their community and showcase what Surrey has to offer. Health promotion and sports development is engaging our participants, allowing individuals to be active and connected to Surrey. Since 2013, we've engaged 700 children in our I'm Game sports program, and we've also trained 150 staff with our I'm Game training program, as well as a harvest box. 17,000 pounds of fruits and veggies have gone towards families within the community of Surrey.
Our community and youth engagement team. This team works to build community capacity through engagement and knowledge development, encouraging people to be active citizens and contribute to more vibrant neighborhoods. So this team provides resources and supports to individual residents or community associations or groups, as well as a lot of programs specifically focused on working with our very large youth population and empowering them to be engaged and active contributors to the community. And one example that we want to give from this section is actually the City Hall Tour program. So this is a program which is really a collaboration, as it involves both staff and volunteers, as well as working with different departments as we go around City Hall. And not only is it a great opportunity to connect and introduce people to City Hall, helping us to become more transparent and open and make people feel comfortable here, but it's also a great way to build knowledge and more informed citizens. But we really find that when we get people to City Hall and they get behind the scenes and see the traffic management center or understand the design of Center Stage and the plaza and how everything works, or get up on the 6th floor and see the changes happening in the local area, people get really excited and really interested in what's going on. So we average about 170 people a month on these tours. And this is primarily elementary age students, but we find that we have more and more newcomer organizations working with us, and we think that's a great way to connect people in with their cities. Okay. So another section that we have is the citywide youth events and engagement. So this team puts on large citywide events for youth, often really building on the interests and skills of the young people, catering to their interests. And also they organize different programs for young people to gain the skills to be able to contribute to these large events. And what I really want to emphasize with this team is that they really focus on co-creating events, because we find we get much better events that way and programs that way. And an example of one of those programs is the Band-Aid initiative that we did in close partnership with the Surrey Arts Centre, and actually I would say with the young musicians of Surrey as well. So a couple of years ago, staff were looking at some of the music and band opportunities that we are offering young people. As part of that process, we sat down with youth and asked them about their thoughts on this, what would really support them. They told us that while they appreciated things like our Battle of the Bands, which gave them opportunities to perform, we really weren't hitting the mark in what they needed. And they told us that they wanted more less competition and more community building, more mentorship, more opportunities to network, and more skill building. So the result of that conversation was Band-Aid, which is a day-long youth musician workshop where they learn everything from home recording to stage presence to how to survive on tour. And it's all organized by the young musicians, and they facilitate it as well. It's an incredible event. This is the second year it's happened. It's sold out. We've secured sponsorship for next year, and there was a waiting list this year. And we even see bands like Good for Grapes, who are headlining some of our major festivals. They actually came back and ran a workshop because it wasn't so long ago that they were there as participants in that program. So we really feel that speaks to what we're trying to do. And finally, we have the youth outreach section. So this team supports young people who are facing barriers in accessing recreations to be able to take part. Because what we really find is with vulnerable young people, positive opportunities help them build resiliency. and help them succeed. And the city has a lot of these opportunities, but sometimes there are things that are preventing young people from accessing them. So this team looks at reducing barriers through offering the Rec for Youth Pass, which is a free recreation pass, or working with our partners to reduce barriers, a key partner being the Surrey School District and the RAP program, as well as different campaigns to encourage young people who aren't usually involved to step up and make a difference, like the Surrey Steps Up campaign. So that is a little bit about the range of work that we do in healthy communities. It's very broad, and we actually distributed a infographic that we recently produced, which kind of gives some of the highlights of some of the programs that we're doing and the impact that's being made. So thanks for your time. We're really happy to share who we are, how we work, and a little bit of what we do to build a healthy community where everyone is active and engaged for life. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Are there any questions? Yes, Councillor Martin.
Thank you for all the great work that your group does, particularly with our youth. And I know I've worked with you on a number of occasions, and what you do is a really good thing for our citizens. So thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you. Madam Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the presentation. It is indeed a busy office, Healthy Communities, and I do have to tell you that I happened upon it. I didn't even actually know it was in City Hall in terms of where it was located. So my question to you is, are all of these delivered through Healthy Communities office, or are these delivered through various partner engagements and Healthy Community office acts as the nucleus or the center of organization, or exactly how does that play out?
That really varies from project to project. So there's some initiatives where, say, a strategy of some sort is initiated by Healthy Communities, and we're playing a convening role in bringing together people. Often, other times, we're just brought in to support an initiative. It depends.
Okay, so you're at the table all of the time, and then can.
We recognize that sometimes, we need to leave. Some conversations aren't happening, so we're able to initiate those things and start it ourselves. But often, there's a lot of great work happening across the city. A lot of the people we work with are doing great things, so we just are able to support them.
Thank you.
Okay. And Councillor LaFranc.
Thank you, Councillor Woods. Thank you so much for your presentation, David and Tara. It's fantastic. I do have to say that I've really been enjoying working with you on some of the new initiatives that are coming forward. And one thing that I really enjoy and think we all need to appreciate is your community development approach, and that building on the strengths of our community. And I think you do such a good job of that. And that strength-based approach has really added a lot of value to some of the groups that we've had seen struggle in the past. I think it can't be understated how important those rec passes are for kids that are struggling. And you know, we know from the research that we've done on crime prevention through social development that that is one of the single most important things that kids can do to keep them busy, active, and involved. And so I really appreciate that you're actually doing outreach to make sure that those kids get access. And so thank you for the work that you do. Good presentation.
Very good. Okay, any other questions? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very informative. Adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Adjourned.